I'm getting ready to send this triptych on the wall behind me to Grenning Gallery, and so I thought I'd show you how I package a painting for shipping. So I start by wrapping each of the paintings in paper. In this case, I'm using white paper. Sometimes I'll use brown paper, but the important thing is never to use wrapping paper, because wrapping paper has like a thin, imperceivable coat of something white on the inside of it that actually gets like stuck and embedded into your paintings. I've learned this the hard way if it's wrapped like directly onto the surface of the painting. So I'm just using white craft paper, but I'll also sometimes use just plain like brown paper, and that'll just put a protective coat first over the surface of the painting. And next what I'll do is I'll put a coat of bubble wrap around each painting, individually wrapped, so that each painting is now covered with the paper and then also a layer of bubble wrap. And next what I'll do is I'll place a piece of cardboard in between each of the canvases and kind of arrange them so that the canvas, like the surface of the canvas, is facing inward, sort of away from, the place where the outer box will be, so that all the canvases are sort of facing inward, the furthest away that they can be from the outside edge of the box, and each facing into a piece of cardboard to protect it. And then what I'll do is I'll basically create this box within a box scenario. So I'll construct the first box like tight, right against the edges of these series of canvases. I'm kind of taping in some little air spacers that I've got, but you could just stuff some bubble wrap in. I'm just kind of trying to fill the space because there's the smaller canvases and then the larger canvas, just so that it'll be sort of tightly wedged within this smaller box. And then I kind of create these triangle spacer things and just tape it all around the outside of the first box so that there's a little triangle spacer on each of the outer surfaces of the first box, so that as I construct the second box, there'll be this little, like, say 1 inch sort of space between the two boxes. And that way, like, if the first box gets punctured, the second box never will. And this has always worked for me. So I create those little spacers and then I construct the second box around the first box. I did it. So that basically shows you how to create a box floating within a box. And I've never had any problem, like when I ship this way, nothing's ever gotten damaged. And the other thing that I was thinking is that I have this document that because of the Pacific Free Trade Agreement, there's not supposed to be any duty on paintings shipped between Canada and the US, but not all border guards know that, so this document basically reminds them of that fact. And so if you're ever shipping across the Canadian-US border, I'll include the document in the description. I would just download that document, fill it out, and include that with your parcel. So let me know what you think of my box building skills and any tricks that you have for shipping paintings.